Are you ready to add a splash of colour to your life? Look no further than Inspiration Seaton, your one-stop shop for all your painting needs. Whether you're a seasoned pro or a DIY enthusiast, we've got everything you need to bring your vision to life. From vibrant hues to professional grade brushes and the biggest range of Dulux paints, we've got you covered. Visit us today at Inspiration Seaton and let your creativity shine. Your masterpiece awaits. Inspiration Seaton, where every stroke tells a story. Are you ready to sell your property quickly and hassle-free, or are you looking for a great property management service? Introducing XL Property, your trusted real estate partner. With XL Property, you can expect top-notch service, expert guidance, and maximum value in your home or investment. Sell smarter, sell faster with XL Property. XL Property, your key to a seamless selling and management experience. Visit xlproperty.com.au. Proud sponsor of the Two Blokes in a Pod podcast. I'm just going to take the big white elephant out of the room. We're going to talk about the topic that we've always been taught, that we've talked about the last few episodes, and that is, of course, the Formula One.
Poor Daniel Rick.
The one race where he actually not only outperformed his teammate, but was so close to a top 10 finish.
I know.
And then
he was ninth, wasn't he?
And then he gets hit in the ass
Yeah.
by Stroll.
I know.
Yeah.
He shouldn't have a bloody seat, mate. I tell you what. He is.
Look, Stroll is daddy's boy. Right? I think we can all agree on that.
Yeah.
And the only reason why he is in Formula One is purely because his dad owns the team.
Yeah. He's on a cool $4 million a year, I think.
Is that how much he's getting paid in? He's getting paid that?
Yeah, 4.1, I think last time I checked.
So dad pays him 4.1 million to race for his own team.
Correct.
Why is he paying him at all? I mean, the fact that he's got a seat should be enough. But what gets to me the most is this. There was, here we go. So on the radio, Stroll says, "This idiot just slammed on the brakes. Check my wing damage." Mate, I clearly watched that race. I clearly watched the video and the replays many, many times, as did Daniel Ricciardo, as did everyone else in the field. But can I just say, he was not looking at the car in front of him. He crashed into Daniel Ricciardo under a fucking safety car.
So you shouldn't be going fast. Anyway.
Stamati, we haven't had an episode for a couple of weeks, and in these couple of weeks, a lot of things have happened.
Yeah.
So I think tonight we're going to delve into, because we were meant to have a guest, and unfortunately our guest forgot.
Yep.
Or mixed up his dates. That's okay.
Right,
We still love you. All good.
Mate.
But we're going to delve into the past couple of weeks and what actually has happened, what's going on around the world, especially here in Australia, which in a way all comes back down to the core reason we do this podcast, and that is mental health illness.
Yeah.
First of all, let's start with Bondi Beach and the Westfield Shopping Centre there. What has happened is a tragedy. Yeah. It's definitely not what we would consider terrorism. It's more so someone with very poor mental health who suffers from pretty severe schizophrenia has literally gone into this shopping centre and stabbed 5 people, including a baby.
Oh, no, he stabbed more than that. They're the only ones that
died. So he stabbed multiple people with an outcome of 5 casualties and 6 if you include him. But let's talk about the people that have lost their lives, unfortunately lost their lives, and that includes a very small baby.
Yeah.
And the mother.
No, did the baby do it? No, the baby survived. Baby survived, mother died. Mother got stabbed.
Oh, the mother of the baby died. Yeah. Sorry, not the baby.
Yeah.
The mother of the baby died, saving the baby. but the baby got heavily stabbed.
Yeah.
Thankfully, has survived, and Michaela, I believe, said before that it has now gone home, has returned home. How would you feel being the father of that baby, having lost your wife, and the trauma caused to your baby?
You know, it's just like, you know, just going out to the shops, like say Katrina going to Coles with Theodore and Dimitri, and the boys survived, and then I've just lost my wife, and both my boys are like extremely, like crucially injured, and now like out of nowhere, I am now a single father. That I just can't even fathom that. That poor bloke, like he's now was in hospital with his baby, and preparing a funeral for his wife. Fucking hell, man, that is...
So I read an article over the last few days about the traumatizing decision he had to make when he got the news, when he received the news of what had just happened. So his wife was sent to one hospital, the baby was sent to another, right?
How fucking stupid is that?
And he basically had to choose between which hospital he was going to go to.
You go to the baby.
So he was told that his wife was in a much more severe critical condition.
Oh, she was alive still when she went to hospital.
That's right. She died in hospital. So she was in a much more severe critical condition, and he chose to go see her first, which unfortunately by the time he got there, she had passed away. And the grandmother had gone to attend to the baby. It's unspeakable. It's horrific. Not only that, we have the young girl who was only weeks away from getting married, had just picked up her wedding dress, the billionaire's daughter.
Security guard?
The security guard who, the female security guard who died. And then there was the male security guard who survived but was also heavily injured.
Let's have a look here. Yeah, so
it's a unspeakable tragedy. So Ashley Good was one of them. Dawn Singleton, who is the young woman who was about to get married. Faraz Tahir, who was the male involved.
Security guard, I would say.
Jade Young.
47
years old, unbelievable. Pikria Darkia. And then a young Chinese woman as well.
She was I think she was a student down from China. Yeah, the Chinese embassy released a statement following the news of Miss Cheng's death. Yeah, so she was down here, I'm assuming, studying. And imagine her parents getting that call. You've gone to another country for better education, and then it's all over. Oh, that's just fucked.
It is. It's horrific. I mean, this guy was known.
Yeah.
This man was known. He moved from Brisbane to Sydney.
Yeah.
This man was known to police, to authorities.
Yeah.
They knew of, his life, him. And then one day he just had a schizophrenic episode, decided to go and stab.
Yeah.
My questions are...
so this guy here, Mr. Giroux, sort of use that as to pronounce it.
Is this the French national?
French guy that's given that they now...
The Bollard man?
Yeah, the Bollard man.
Yeah.
So Australia now are looking to give him citizenship.
So there was one guy who confronted him, and then there was another guy with the Bollard.
Yeah, so pretty sure this is the guy that was on the escalator.
Yeah, with the Bollard.
Yeah. So he's...
Now, let's divulge a little bit into this, right? So two blokes...
Yep.
Not in a pod, but two blokes confronted this man.
Yeah.
Right? One just confronted him and then tried to put people out of...
So is this the father?
There was a father that shielded his family
Yeah.
and then confronted the bloke.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Then there was the bollard man. So 2 blokes,
Yeah.
both confronted him. Why did he walk directly past these guys and did not even look at them or affect them?
So don't quote me on this, right? So I did hear, or I don't know if I read it or I heard it, that he was targeting women because he had an issue with women.
Okay.
So I don't know if you see on the security footage. Yeah, you're right. He sort of went, like he went to just dummy stab him, but he wasn't going to, and he went the other way. That was when there was he was walking after a man, and you see the guy trip over, and then you see him cross that little kiosk to go, and then that's when the guy sort of shielded his family, like, "Come on, mate, what are you doing?" And he went the other way. So that guy there, so he was targeting women. That's what I sort of read. Yeah. So that's what I sort of read, which is piss poor, mate. Like you're going after women and children. It's just like, mate.
Of all places.
Yeah, shopping centre.
Of all places. So I was in Melbourne last week. Yeah. I visited Australia's and the Southern Hemisphere's biggest...
Chadstones?
Yeah. Biggest shopping centre.
It's crazy, isn't it?
And I kid you not, like I was in there for 4 hours. Yeah. I actually don't think I saw more than 25% of the shopping centre because it's that damn huge,
crazy.
Right?
Crazy.
But I was very guarded
you have to.
That whole time because one, I don't know the area.
Mm-hmm. You've never been there before?
I've never been there.
Okay,
never been there. This was my first time. I don't know the area and I don't know the environment there. I definitely don't know the Melbourne people as well as I do my own here and back home. Not that I know everyone, but what I'm saying is I kept my boys like right next to me on a leash type thing. Yeah. And even when the wife said, "Oh, I'm just going to go down the David Jones end of the mall," right? I'm like, "Okay, I'll come with you." No, I'm all right. I go, "No, I'll come with you." But she didn't want me. She's like, I know what she wanted to do, go do shopping on her own. So, she doesn't have the boys hanging off her. But I had that thought and that fear. I'm like, okay, look, what's the chances of it happening again? Yeah. But like, I don't know. It's just...
Okay, so we're just reading here. So he asked for his medication to be reduced over a number of years before leaving the family home. This is what the parents said about their own son. This is a parent's absolute nightmare. When they have a child with mental illness, that something like this would happen. My heart goes out to the people my son has hurt. If he was in the right mind, he would be absolutely devastated with what he has done. So now, look, this is obviously a sensitive topic, but then does this show now again that the system failed him?
Yeah.
All right. Look, this is obviously no disrespect to the victims and their families and all that sort of stuff, and
Well, we're not disrespecting them. What we're saying is that the system has failed this man who has pretty intense, severe mental, or who had, should I say, intense mental health issues.
Yeah.
So this is the problem that we're currently facing in Australia. I mean, look, I know it's a worldwide thing. It's not just Australia, but here in Australia, especially the country that we are, where our population is not at the level of other countries like the US, India, all that, million, right? Yeah. I mean, in the US, you've got mental health that is undiagnosed, and look at the shit happening in the US with all the laws and stuff. They've got no gun control. Imagine we didn't have gun control here. Oh. Imagine that. Imagine this guy, instead of a knife, had a semi-rifle. Yeah. Imagine that.
Oh, forget it. It would have been in the...
Like, you go back all the way back to Port Arthur massacre. That was all mental health.
That was 93?
Yeah, back in the early 90s.
Early 90s.
But that was all a guy that was mentally unwell.
Crazy. Yeah.
And that, I think that there was like the start of, well, not, it wasn't the start of, but it was one of the biggest steps towards recognizing that our mental health system here in Australia is poor.
And unfortunately, we've got, so a lot of people that, they play the card, right? They play the mental health card, even though they don't have mental health. So that's where it's like.
And that's the thing, like with mental health, and we discussed this a couple of weeks ago, it's so easy to use that. It's so easy to go around and say, I've got really bad mental health, help me, help me, help me. And that's why a lot of these organizations, departments, all that, they don't help because they can't pinpoint whether it is
It's just whether or not people are taking
false or true.
Yeah.
Right? We've experienced this. Not mentioning names, but we've experienced this on this show.
Yeah.
Where now we sit here going, questioning everything that was said to us.
Yeah. No, you're right. So, unfortunately now, like, so, the healthcare professionals in this sort of field, they'll be thinking, okay, another guy or person crying out mental health. And then they'll sort of just pick and choose maybe, who's legit and who's not. And unfortunately, some people fall through the cracks and that they don't get the attention that they need because they probably just think they're another person using it. Right now, even back to when I remember I was on my honeymoon, Phil Walsh's son, Cy Walsh, they played, like, he stabbed his father like over 70 times or something like that, right? When he killed him, and man, he's in it, like he's roaming the streets now, right? But he's like at night he has to go back to the clinic, and then during the day he can go out. Right? It's like, okay, now I don't know if he was high on drugs or whatever.
Well, from memory, it was a drug-induced psychosis,
right,
that he was going through at the time.
Yeah, but then should that be an excuse?
No, it shouldn't be. Of course, it shouldn't be an excuse.
Yeah.
End of the day, look, this is how I see it, and like, quite possibly we'll get controversial with these discussions because we are not medical professionals.
No, absolutely not.
And a lot of people listening to this podcast may differ in opinion, which is perfectly fine. But I just believe that mental health obviously is heightened with the use of illegal substances, such as, your amphetamine, speed, crystal meth, all the crap that's coming out these days. Juice is one of them. I don't know if you've heard about juice.
The only juice I know is steroids.
Yeah, well, no. There's a new drug called juice, which puts you into such a really bad state of psychosis and you blank out. You do not realize or understand or remember anything you have just done while on this substance.
There's not enough drugs out there. We've got to keep making more. I don't get it.
Well, how do drug dealers keep themselves active and full of money?
Yeah, okay.
By creating something new. And what are new drugs? New drugs are just old drugs reinvented with something else.
And that sort of shit. Yeah.
It's absolutely crazy the things that we're coming across in this world. I'm scared, absolutely scared for my kids and the future.
Yeah. No,
all right, this is the shit that we have to deal with now. But now, staying on the stabbing topic, so a few days after that event, right? Now this is where I think my opinion may be very controversial, because I want to differentiate the difference between these two events. But a few days after the stabbing in Bondi, there was the stabbing of the Armenian bishop in Sydney, right? Bishop Mari Emmanuel.
Yep.
I was actually watching that live.
Oh, bullshit.
Yeah, not the actual stabbing, but I watched the aftermath live.
Okay.
Because as it happened, someone had already uploaded the video of him being stabbed.
Yeah, I saw that by accident. Oh.
Right? And then there was a very, very big commotion happening outside the church. So I watched that part live.
Okay.
The police trying to keep away, because they just wanted to go in and take over and smash this person. 15-year-old kid.
Let's have a look. Yeah.
I think this is another one.
Oh.
This is the other one.
Oh, so this is another. So a 16-year-old boy has been arrested after Bishop and several churchgoers were stabbed during. Okay, so this is another one.
This is the other one.
So there was two. So there was that one that you were just saying, and then there was one. So when was this?
That was 7 days ago.
7 days ago.
Are you sure it's not the same one?
Bishop stabbing in Sydney church. Yeah.
Right.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, go on.
So there's another one.
Yeah, there was another. I
Holy
did
shit.
see it. Yeah.
So now, where was I going with this? So 15-year-old kid,
Yeah.
right, has walked into a church
Yep.
while the bishop was giving a sermon,
Yep.
right, and basically started stabbing the bishop. Now, from what I understand, the bishop is fine.
Yes.
The kid was using a knife that still had its cover on, so it didn't penetrate any skin.
Oh.
So the bishop is fine,
Oh, so he didn't actually get any stab wounds.
not from what I understand.
Okay.
He was using a knife, so he must have done it so quickly,
Yeah.
and obviously the kid would have been like fearing what he was doing, and he
Wow,
he,
okay.
he used a knife that was covered. So where I was going with this is 15 years old. I don't put this one down to mental health.
No, this guy was just nuts. Yeah,
I put this down to pure terrorism.
Correct. Yeah. Yeah.
It was a religious-based terrorism.
Yeah.
Now, I say this because, yes, the bishop in question had mentioned anti-Islam conversations in previous sermons.
Okay.
And from what I have read, this young kid was part of a community
Yeah.
that the bishop was talking about.
Okay.
But who in their right mind would instruct a 15-year-old kid, or do you think that he went and did it on his own accord to prove things?
I reckon he probably just did it on his own, to be honest, because look, I know a few Muslim people, and they're relatively peaceful people. You know, obviously you hear things, you know, overseas and all that sort of stuff, but the people that I've sort of come across are very, very peaceful people.
And that is what Islam is all about.
Peace.
Very peaceful people. It's a very peaceful community. I know many Muslim people.
Well, actually, got one of my workers, he's Muslim.
Yeah.
He's a practicing Muslim, and he just finished.
I associate with a lot of Muslim people through my line of work, a lot of clients.
Yep.
Beautiful people,
Oh, 100%.
very welcoming into the home.
Yep.
Very. But unfortunately, just like
As a
every
minority.
religion would have, there are the fanaticals.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And I think this young kid was obviously trying to prove a point to his seniors that, you know what, I can do this.
Yeah.
I had an argument with someone after this event who was saying, oh, it all comes down to mental health. And I said, no, this is a pure case of not being mental health. Yeah, probably has a few screws loose up there, but I put this down to pure terrorism. It wasn't mental health, it was terrorism.
Yeah.
And he goes, no, it's definitely mental health. It's all, you know, who in their right mind does that? And I said, yeah, exactly. Who in their right mind does that? Who in their right mind goes and flies airplanes into the Twin Towers?
Yeah.
Would you put that down to mental health?
No.
No, that's terrorism,
Correct.
right? They want to put terror into that community.
Yep.
So this is what the kid has tried to do. He's tried to put terror into that priest, that bishop's community.
Yeah, yeah. He wants to prove a point, wants to be all hard in front of his mates or the elders or whatever community he's a part of and whatever, and he's just trying to prove a point. And, you know, it's obviously not the right way to go about it. You know, if you've got something to say, maybe then go into the church and speak your mind, or have a one-on-one with him behind closed doors. No, but he wanted to go in there and be all head honcho and all that sort of shit, and then go stab a priest. Nah, mate, sorry, I don't agree with that, and that's that is terrorism. That's not mental health, from my perspective, and I'm assuming from yours as well. But yeah, I don't know.
Well, I mean, this guy was clearly trying to argue with me that it is all mental health and that, you know, it could have been stopped. And I said, well, it's a 15-year-old kid. How do you put a 15-year-old kid in that sphere?
Yeah.
Right? He's been radicalized.
Yeah,
it's terror.
He's young.
He's a tool that's being used to cause terror.
Correct. He's young, immature, and a hot.
And this child has probably been promised a new world or whatever, all the things in the world, and it's terror.
Yeah.
There's nothing more to it but terror. Yeah. So you said that there was another stabbing.
So there was another one in Sydney again. I think a 16-year-old boy has been arrested after.
No, I think it is. There was another one. I can't
There was.
So that's the same one.
So
right.
Go back up.
Oh yeah, no, that's the
bishop.
bishop.
The same one.
Yep.
Go back up, okay. So, oh no, that was the 6 people in the Bondi. But I did read another one happened. I don't know if it was in Melbourne or Sydney. It was one of the two.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. So
if we find any info, we'll talk about it. But you know what we're going to do? Let's get this cracking.
This is Two Blokes in a Pod.
Hey, what is that?
The podcast where, well, it's a bit of this, a bit of that.
I don't understand.
Just blokey laughs and blokey chats.
Okay.
Whatever it is, let's get started.
There you go. Katrina here. Someone also went into colonnades with a knife the other day. Didn't attack anyone, but they're still looking for him.
Colonnades. God, compare that to Chadston. Oh, wow. Yeah, see, it's just scary, isn't it? It's scary. Hey, before we move on with the pod, let's talk about inspirations.
Yes.
As you can see on our live stream, we have the new logo of the new sponsor there.
Yeah. So now I shop. I buy my paints out of this store. I have been for probably 4 years now, and Maddie, Pete, John Charles there as well. They've looked after me, and they look after a lot of painters in the industry. For me, I was real happy to get these guys on board. Didn't really take much convincing. Matt's always out there to help out, small businesses and new things popping up like our podcast. So didn't really have to twist his arm too much at all, which was good. So if you guys are looking to get any painting done at your house or whatever, go see the boys down at Seaton. I've got a little spill here. So if
they're not going to be the ones painting your house, but they can give you the supplies to paint it on your own.
Correct.
Or you can ring SP Painting Services.
Correct. I'm not trying to plug anything here, but we'll get the job done for you. But Inspirations, they're a Dulux stockist. They also stock, I think, Berger as well and Hames down at Seaton. Now, don't get it confused. They are a franchise, family-owned company, family-owned business. So, you know, they've been in the industry since 1988. Started by Lou and Carolyn Bolzen as a paint master initially, selling household automotive, wood care and wallpapering. Proudly family-owned and operated, serving and supporting the community since its inception. Now run by Matthew and the loyal staff, so that's who I see. Dulux trade agent since 1995. Joined the Inspirations franchise in 2001. They are proud to supply everything from local household to some of the largest developments in SA, such as the Royal Adelaide Hospital. So they got all their materials, you know, when they were painting that, they used them, which was good, and that was a big project. As such, they are now one of the largest independently owned paint stores in Australia. So that's pretty good coming from SA. Always looking to improve and innovate their latest renovations renovations to their business. So they've just done a full reno at their store. Why are you guys taking the piss now?
If they can deal with you,
hey?
If they can deal with you, they can deal with anybody. That's all you need to say.
Yeah, no, they're good. They're good. You know, so look, go down there. They're on Tappers Hill Road there at Seaton, and they'll look after you. If you mention my name, they'll probably charge you double, so whatever.
Well, look, thank you very much to Matthew and the crew for coming on board as a sponsor of the podcast.
Yep.
It is fantastic because, you know, like, you know, I try to link in with, you know, people that are sponsoring our podcast and how it relates back to what we do here. And I thought, you know what, this is great because Two Blokes in a Pod gets listened to by a lot of tradies out there, you being one, and then all your tradie mates listen to the podcast as well. Yeah. And here we go, a business that caters to tradies, especially in that trade. Yeah. So thank you very much to the guys down there, and we look forward to our new relationship and friendship over this. And I really hope that we can get Matthew in for one episode. I heard he's a pretty fanatical Italian.
He is.
And he wants to come in here and compare Greek food to
Italian food.
Italian food.
Yeah, I did have a convo with him.
I know we will shit all over him when it comes to that.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
He's also I think he's a coach as well at Fulham. So we've got that little bit of rivalry.
Oh no! What age group?
I think it's under 10.
Oh, okay.
I think.
All right.
So yeah.
Out of our league then.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah.
All right. So this is a big debate topic that I want to discuss. Right. There's currently a debate going around Australia.
It's not a Tim Tam debate, is it?
No. We clearly know you're a douchebag.
Did we ever get a response from that?
Never.
Oh, that's a bit devastating.
Yeah, well, you know what? They probably looked and read the email and going, whoever this bloke is who thinks that Tim Tam is a chocolate...
An idiot.
...is a complete fucking idiot.
So, the other night...
Oh, God. Is it still going?
No. The other night, so Dimitri, doesn't matter, my son Dimitri, whatever it is, he's always got my back, right? Always. Like, if me and the missus are having a bit of an argument, whatever, he'll always side with me, even if I'm wrong, right? So, thanks, Dimitri, but listen to your mother. Anyway, so the other night, he was having a Tim Tam. He goes, oh, this is an awesome biscuit. And I looked at him, I'm like, biscuit? And he goes, oh, I mean chocolate. I'm like, see, it's all right, mate. If you think it's a biscuit, just say it. He goes, Dad, it's a biscuit chocolate. Okay.
So,
chocolate biscuit.
If I'm reading this correctly, you actually still think that Tim Tam is a chocolate?
No, I've come around.
Has he, Michaela?
She doesn't even know. She doesn't even want to know. What?
Our producer is nodding her head.
Shaking her head, nodding her head. What are you doing?
Shaking, nodding. She's like, She's about to walk out. She's got info and dirt that she just doesn't want to talk about.
It's all right. You know,
Yeah,
get
all
her
right,
a
fair
microphone
enough.
in a few weeks.
Okay,
if that's what she wants.
so currently there is a big debate happening around Australia on what is Australia's best city, right?
Adelaide, 100%.
I'm with that, 100% Adelaide,
100%.
right? Now, the Melburnians think that Melbourne is the
Don't
best.
worry about bloody
Sydney
Melbourne,
people think that they're the best. Where does Adelaide sit with this?
Listen. Let me give you a quick, just my opinion, right? Now, I lived in Sydney for a little bit. Great city to go and visit. To live, it's just not practical. It's just so not practical. Like how the city is set up. It's just like, who the fuck designed it? How simple is Adelaide? Honestly, how simple is it? Like the city is a box. You can't get lost,
No.
right? You got your northern suburbs, your southern suburbs, and your east and west. You can't go any further west because it's the beach. You can't go any further east. It's the hills. South, whatever. You know, north. All right, they keep them building out, but it's so like just square.
It's not overpopulated.
No,
The traffic is not out of control.
it's getting there.
It
but not
is,
out of
yeah.
control. It's a
but
roadworks.
Can I say one thing? I spent a week last week in Melbourne, okay?
Talk to me.
Now, on the Tuesday night,
Right.
we had tickets to go to the Harry Potter exhibition
How
in
was
Mount
it?
Martha.
How was
We
it?
will get to that
Okay.
because I will lose my train of thought if I get into the good stuff.
Okay.
So, we were booked to go to an 8 o'clock session at Mount Martha, which is approximately an hour and a half away from where we were staying in the
This is
city
for the Harry Potter thing.
for the Harry Potter thing.
Right.
It was a night thing. You had to go walk through a forest.
Like, oh,
I'll talk all about it. It was phenomenal. But we left the hotel at 5 o'clock because we thought, you know what? We don't know how far this is actually going to be. Google could be fucking with us. You know, we're just going to take our, you know, just plan ourselves ahead
Yep.
and leave a bit earlier, right? So we left the hotel at 5 o'clock. We then get told by the GPS to take the City Link. This is the quickest route,
oh no!
right?
You don't have a.
And I don't
tag
have I don't
e-tag.
have a tag pass or whatever. But I didn't know any of this.
That's another
Anyway,
thing. That's another thing.
I know.
Go on.
So they said that if we take the City Link, it will cut off about half an hour, and then the City Link turns into the East Link, and then the East Link turns into the Peninsula Link. So it's these big toll roads, right?
Right.
Again, we're from Adelaide. We don't know what tolls are, right? We've never paid tolls on roads.
No.
But I get onto this freeway, which was easy to get onto, but once I got onto it, there was a set of lights allowing one car through every green light. One car through every green light,
Then what's the point of the
right?
freeway?
Once you got on the freeway, it was bumper to fucking bumper,
So there's no benefit.
right? It took us almost 2 hours to get to our destination at that time of day. The tunnels, we were going through tunnels. Now, you know the hill tunnels that we have, the Hyson tunnels, whatever they're called, right? Once you're in there, you're out already.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, they're long, but they're not, like,
Congested.
they're not congested.
Yeah.
Man, this was 5 lanes of congestion each way.
Oh, fuck that.
5 lanes.
Nah.
I hated every second of that drive. It was just out of control. I couldn't do it. It was just. Then to make it worse, we went through, I reckon, 8 toll stations, maybe even 10. I haven't got the bill for that yet,
Oh, it's coming.
right? But from what I read, each toll station is about $6 to $8, right? Just to use this road.
So we just had a wedding in Mount Gambier, and my uncle he came down from Melbourne, and his daughter and son-in-law, and he was saying, he goes, man, it costs me just to go to work a week. Well, no, it was at $10 each way per day.
$20 a day.
In tolls, just to get to work. So it's $100 just to get to work and back home every week. And I said, I don't understand, because I got, like, even in Sydney, I understood why they were there, because they got, I think it was either Germany or England to build the roads back in the day. And they introduced the tolls to help pay the debt. Mate, the fucking debt's been paid for ages.
Yeah, but it's an income to the government now.
Exactly. It's like,
You want to get to your destination quicker? This is how you do it. But where we were staying, we found a route which was pretty much in line with the expressway.
Right.
Right? We found a way where we can avoid all tolls, and it added 8 minutes extra onto our drive.
I'll fucking go that way.
So had I known that prior, I would have just gone that way,
Yeah.
knowing that it's only going to be 8 minutes.
Was it still like thick congested on there as well?
Man, it's congested everywhere. Dude, I was
You need a
so
helicopter.
we stayed at the Crown Metropole,
Oh,
right?
awesome, yeah.
We were on the 26th level.
Well, hold on. So you stayed at the Crown Metropole.
Yeah.
How many people were allowed to stay in each each hotel room?
We had 2 queen beds. So the boys stayed in one bed and we stayed in the other.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Because we're looking to go to Melbourne in July or August.
Do it, man. Do it. Crown Metropole is phenomenal.
Oh no, I've stayed in all three. And
Oh, yeah, I've stayed in Promenade and Metropole many times.
And the
I've
tower-
never been in the towers.
I did that when we were sort of single and had no debt or whatever. I'm like, fuck it, But Metropole's the best of both.
Metropole by far is the most family friendly.
Yeah.
There's a
pool's
kingpin
killer.
downstairs. So my boys were in the pool all day long, every day. Like they loved it, right? So where I was going is the pool, being an infinity pool, you can look out over the road.
Awesome.
Man, I'm telling you, I was looking at the Western Link, what's it called? The Westgate, Westgate Freeway.
Westgate, yep.
From about 3 o'clock onwards, chock-a-block, man.
This is fucking ridiculous.
Chock-a-block. I was watching a car, and it took that car 15 minutes to probably, from where I was looking, probably move 20 meters. Horrible. So, having said that, Adelaide by far is the best city
100%.
in Australia.
Like,
Hashtag Adelaide, by the way. It is trending.
Adelaide.
It is trending at the moment.
look, our beaches are shit all over the Melbourne beaches, I think, anyway.
Oh,
Have you ever been to a Melbourne
absolutely.
beach?
I drove past one
And?
I just looked at it going, I mean, all right, it wasn't beach weather, but still I drove past it and I go, that looks shitty.
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh, look, don't get me wrong. You got Bondi Beach, which is awesome.
all right. Look, there's cities where, look, let me say, I loved every bit of Melbourne. I did love every bit of Melbourne in terms of what we did. The fact that Crown Metropole is so close to everything.
Oh, South Bank.
We
was
literally walked. Man, I was doing 15,000 steps a day. Here in Adelaide, I don't do more than 4,000 a day. Right? There's no way. And most of those steps are from my desk to the toilet.
Yeah.
Right? But in Melbourne, it was like literally 1,000 steps from my hotel room to go out to South Bank. I had to go through the casino. And we were doing that multiple times a day. I went to the DFO on South Wharf.
Yeah.
I went for a walk down into the aquarium, Collins Street, all those streets.
Did you do the aquarium?
Yeah, we did. We did.
I love that
it's
place.
phenomenal.
I love that place.
We did all that. We walked all the way through the casino complex, the Kingpin, all the food courts and the different restaurants. It was phenomenal, man. There's so much to do in Melbourne. Best.
Man,
but I can't stand overpopulation.
No.
I can't stand congestion. And I just can't.
Did you hire a car there? Or
No, we drove over.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Man, we paid like $60 a day valet,
Yeah.
right? Which is fine because were you to go parking, you'd be paying at least $30 an hour.
I remember, I think it was 2010 or 2009, my cousin, when we were living in Sydney, my cousin came to visit us. And we went to Bondi, and I was still a bit fresh. Like, I didn't really go out that much, 'cause, went over for work. And I parked in Bondi, and I went to a pub there with him, and it cost me back then, I was there for no longer than 2 hours. It was like $40.
Yeah.
And I'm talking 2009,
Yeah.
2010.
Yeah.
So even just to go out, like, your parking is fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, look, I think these big estates have the benefit of being able to charge different, prices and more and all that. But look, Adelaide's catching up. Adelaide is catching up on the cost of living, on the expense of houses. Okay, sure, like, here in Adelaide, you can get a house close to the city for, now probably 1.5. And in Sydney or Melbourne, you won't be able to get a house like that unless you go driving out 2 hours from the city.
Well, my uncle in Melbourne, he goes, oh, you're pretty close to the city, about 45 minutes. I'm like, pretty close, fuck, okay. And he goes, look, the houses around there are going for probably about, I don't know, 1.4, 1.5, 1.6.
See what I mean?
Nearly an hour out of Melbourne.
Nearly an hour out. I was speaking to a mate of mine. I was talking to him because we were trying to catch up for a coffee, and it never worked out. But I said, I want to go to Oakley. All right, I want to go have a proper Greek coffee and a Greek feed and all that. Do you want to catch up? And he goes, oh man, I won't be able to. And I go, don't you live near Oakley? And he goes, I'm about half an hour out of Oakley. Yeah. I'm like, okay. Well, Oakley's about 40 minutes from where I'm staying. So, now Crown Towers being smack bang pretty much in the middle of the CBD. So 40 minutes to Oakley. And I go, and you're another half an hour on top of Oakley from the city. And he goes, yeah. I'm like, that's fucking far. He goes, nah, man, that's nothing.
Down the road. They'll buzz out when they come here, mate.
That's far, man.
Yeah.
I live in a suburb where it's like 5 minutes to the beach, 5 minutes to the city, 10 minutes to a shopping centre, Marion. What the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, it's crazy, man. It's crazy.
And to think I only paid like just over 400,000 for my house 10 years ago.
Same, yeah, I can believe it. Even at the time, like, I remember my mum was like, fuck, that's a lot of money. And all my mates were like, shit, man, you're spending 495,000 on a house. I'm like, well, what am I supposed to do? Oh, mate, go out.
Yeah, no.
Nah, I'm like, nah, man.
Why would you do that?
Yeah.
But yeah, okay, cool. So that was my topic of
Harry Potter.
Yeah. So Harry Potter, it was
I'm a big fan.
The Forbidden Forest experience.
Yeah.
So basically, you walk into this village, which is an imitation of Hogsmeade, right?
Of what?
Hogsmeade. The village where they have all the shops and different stuff.
Yeah.
And they had like the dragon fire pit, so you could buy like all grilled meats and different foods and hot foods and stuff.
Yeah.
They had a butterbeer stall.
Yeah.
And I actually didn't know that they were selling butterbeer. I went there and I go, oh, they've got like house themed hot chocolates.
Yeah.
So they had like the Gryffindor hot chocolate, which was like a sort of like a hot chocolate with a little bit of an Jaffa orange type hint in it, with whipped cream on top.
Yeah.
Then you had the Ravenclaw hot chocolate, which was a white hot chocolate with whipped cream and blue dust on top.
Yeah.
You had the Slytherin hot chocolate, which was a minty hot chocolate.
Yeah, okay.
And then you had the Hufflepuff, which was like a bit of a caramel type hot chocolate.
Okay.
And then you had the adults hot chocolate, which was the same, but you could add liqueur into it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I obviously had a liqueur one.
Of course.
It was, wow, it was delish.
Yeah.
But I didn't know that you could actually buy, I thought that was the butterbeer. I thought, there's no such thing as butterbeer. But they were actually making butterbeer, and I didn't know what that tasted like. I never had it. But then right in the middle of the village, they had a massive fire pit where you could buy these big ass marshmallows on a stick and toast them.
Yeah.
And then they gave you a dipping sauce.
And all out.
Yeah, oh, it was brilliant. And then as you walk a bit further, there was like a group of light posts set up, and you would wave your wand and say luminous, and all the lights would come on.
Oh.
Yeah, I've got videos of.
Is that all the year round, or is it just like a special thing?
No, it's just a special thing that they're doing. Yeah.
Damn.
Now it gets better. So then you walk into the exhibition, and the first thing you go into is obviously a merchandise store. You can buy wands, capes, whatever, right? Then the tour starts. Man, I'm telling you, this was like a 3-kilometer tour through the forest, right? It was a very long walk, but it was dark. There was smoke everywhere, like fog.
Like, so when you say forest, like, is it like they just put it up? Like,
So they converted a actual forest
oh,
into the Forbidden Forest.
where's there a forest in the...
Mount Martha.
Oh, Mount Martha.
In Mount Martha.
Yeah, sorry.
So, look, I'll show you an example. I know our listeners won't be able to see this, but I'll show you what I mean. Where are we? Here. Not there. I actually don't know where the video... Oh, here. Here's a video of my wife and my son about to have a wand battle with each other.
Wow.
Right? So you can see that, right? They're battling with their wand. Look at that. Yeah. And James obviously won that because my wife gave up. But that was one part. And then, like, you know, it was just crazy.
So they did it right. Does this come every couple of years or anything? Or was it just...
No,
was this the first
I don't
time
know.
it's done?
I'm pretty sure it was a once-off type thing. Oh, you know what? Most of my videos are actually on my camera.
Okay.
I didn't take them on my phone, so that's why. Oh, that was the hot chocolate that I had.
Oh.
Yeah.
If you don't mind.
And it had quite a big hit of Bailey's in there too. Oh man, it was a great tour.
And how
But
was the-
that was the Hogsmeade Village. So the Fat Friar,
Yeah.
and then you got the Dragon Pit, the Dragon Fire roasts.
So when was the last Harry Potter? What year was that made? Was that like 2009? I think. 2011. Okay. So we're talking like 13 years on, and Harry Potter is still so popular.
I guess in a way you would say Harry Potter has a fan base like you know you would have a Star Wars fan base. You know what I mean? Like it's a fans movie. You got to be really into it to. Man, I'm telling you, there were people of all ages at this thing. Like there was older people dressed up in capes and house gear and all that type of stuff. There was young people that I would like, even my son's age, going, how the hell do these kids even know what Harry Potter is?
I just rewatch it, mate.
You know, 2011 was the last one.
Eight films.
We're talking kids that were no older than 10 years old, were fully decked out.
Yeah, wow, that's great. Like even Dimitri, he went through a massive Harry Potter phase, and I remember during COVID, myself and Katrina were both in what do they call it, isolation, for like 10, 15 days, whatever it was. So we watched all the Harry Potters together, even with Dimitri. And I remember there was one morning we woke up, like Katrina and I woke up, and we said, "Oh fuck it, we'll start watching," you know. And I remember Dimitri walks out, comes out of his room, he goes, "Did you start another one without me?" So we started it again and watched it. But I remember when my dad first got the Philosopher's Stone, the movie.
Yeah.
And we were all psyched up, like we knew when the release date was, and all that. And my dad, remember, like, you got to go tomorrow to go get the Harry Potter, the DVD. And he's like, yeah, no worries, no worries. Anyway, he went the night before to Blockbuster. And he goes, look, mate, what are the chances of you hooking me up with a DVD before? And the guy did it. He goes, just don't tell anyone. And I remember my cousin Irini, she's a massive Harry Potter head, like the biggest fan. She's read the books inside out, upside down, whatever. And I remember she rocks up to, I don't know if it was our house, and she goes, look. Like on the day it was released, because she lived down the road. She goes, look, you know, I got the DVD. I go, yeah, we got it last night, I've already watched it. And like so she was so deflated. Like, what do you mean? I'm like, I got it last night. And then on the back in the, these kids won't get it now, but back in the day on DVDs, sometimes they used to come with like games, like, you know, extra features, extra scenes, bloopers, and all that sort of stuff. It came on.
Oh, like the cutscenes.
Yeah. So you had you know, when you put the disc in, it used to come up with the main menu, and it would have play movie or games, you know, behind the scenes and all that sort of stuff. And I remember, you know, how Harry Potter went, you know, when they go in through that store to go into, what was it called,
Diagon Alley.
Diagon Alley, right? He'd have to put his wand on the brick.
Oh yeah, yep.
To go through. There was a game on there. You had to memorize the bricks.
Oh wow.
To go in, and that was on the Philosopher's Stone. I remember it was fucking. Oh, these kids won't understand the little things that we used to have when we were younger. You know, I was actually explaining to Dimitri the other day. I go, man, you got like your switches and your tablets and your PS5s and all that stuff. All we had back in the day was a Game Boy with no backlight and remember the little lamp things?
Yeah.
Used to go over?
The extender watch, to play it in bed. Yeah.
And then, man, you'd have, like, I used to get my dad to go get me, because, you know, the Game Boys back then weren't rechargeable. So he used to go get a pack of AA batteries. Right? I'm like, mate, this is my life support right here.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Anyway, I've probably gone on a bit, indulging into, you know, back in the day. When
Katrina says she remembers that Terry and her used to play that and try to memorize the bricks.
Oh, there you go. See?
Yeah.
Yeah, so the nostalgia's all coming back to me.
Look, I mean, I can't say I'm a big Harry Potter head like my kids are, or like James is. But I definitely enjoyed watching the films, and I definitely enjoyed doing that that with him. But yeah, it was a great experience, and I don't know how long they're on for, but I do recommend that if anyone does get the chance to go do it, go do it.
Nah,
it was well worth it.
Be awesome.
Well worth it.
And man, like back to you saying about Melbourne and that, you know, it's a good city, but just it's South Bank, and that's really it for me. I don't really go out of South Bank when I'm there. I'll go to South Bank or Chatston's, that's it. But
have you been to Oakley?
Yeah, been to Oakley.
Yeah,
all the Greek.
That was a very good experience.
Yeah, just very
like literally
very
everyone talks Greek.
Everyone.
Yeah, I walked into there's a place called Meet Me Souvlaki Bar, right? And they've got one shop on either side of the street. Anyway, so I
there it is.
there it is. Thanks, a bit late. So there's this, so we went into one of the stores because I just felt that day, I just wanted like a really Greek meat, right? I just wanted Greek souvla, like Greek spit. Yeah. And I walked in, and then this fob just greets us at the door.
Yeah.
Right?
Hello.
Hello.
How are you going? So what would you like,
yes,
please?
Table for four.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yes, table for four, please. Like, you know, here in my little Aussie accent. And he didn't obviously know that I was Greek or anything. Yeah. And
g'day, mate.
He sits us down and all that, brings the menus and all that. And I'm talking to the boys. All right, guys, what are we going to have today? Or, you know, straight away, oh, do they have chicken nuggets? I'm like, fucking man. We're at a souvlaki and you want nuggets. Anyway, whatever. So the bloke comes back and I start going, Lipon, which means all right.
All right, yeah.
And he looks at me and he goes, obviously in Greek he was talking to me, but he goes, "Are you Greek?" I said, "Yeah, mate, I'm 100% Greek." He goes, "Why didn't you say that from the start, mate?" I'm like, "Well, you know, I want to make sure that, you know, you give me that good service before I turn around being Greek." And he goes, "What does that mean?" I said, "Well, listen, every time I go to Greece and I start talking Greek, they shit can me going that I'm not a natural Greek. So I just need to, you know, I'm keeping my." He goes, "Here in Oakley, if you're Greek, you're Greek. I don't care where you're born. You speak the language, you're Greek." I'm like, "All right, no worries." Looked after me after that. Yeah, I didn't pay full price for any of my food.
No,
I told him where I was from, in like where my parents are from in Greece, and you know that I come from Adelaide, and this is the reason why we came up. And I was told that I had to come here to eat, mate. The second I said that, no one told me I had to go there and eat. I just thought, oh well, that looks like a place that sells Greek meat.
Smoke up his ass.
And he's like, "Oh yeah, we got the best meats here, rah rah rah, this and that." And yeah, it was a good experience.
Yeah. No, I remember when I went to Greece for my honeymoon, and we went to Rhodes, and I went to where was it, in Lindos. I said that my papa was from Katavia. He's like, "Oh, your papa was from Katavia. What's his last name?" I go, "Papa Stamati." And he's like, "Oh, okay. His sister's here right now, Maritza from Adelaide." And I was like, "How the fuck do you know?" Like everyone knew each other. Like it was such a tight knit sort of place. And oh yeah, thick discounts, half price.
Oh yeah.
I wasn't paying for anything, man.
Yeah.
That's why you guys got no fucking money.
Yeah. my mum went to Greece last year, and she's not been back to Greece for 42, 43 years. Oh, wow. Right? Okay. So this is her first time back, was her first time back. Yeah. And obviously, you know, Dad's not around anymore, so she went with my sister. And she went down to where she's from, the village that she's from. Doesn't associate or communicate with anyone from that village, other than obviously her cousin who lives there. So she went into the main little town of the village, and she says to them, she met someone at a shop and, you know, started talking and this and that. And then that person turns around and goes, "What was your name again?" And she said the name, and she goes, "Did you marry such and such in this year, and you left for Greece this year, for Australia this year?" And she goes, "Yeah, and your mother was da da da." She goes, "Yeah." She goes, "I'm your cousin." And she's like, "What are you talking about? You're my cousin."
That is so
She goes,
sad,
"Yeah, I'm such and such's daughter, who's the sister of your mum." And she apparently just broke down in tears going, "I haven't seen you or spoken to you in like 40 years. What the hell?" Like, you know, I'm like, Jesus Christ. You didn't know you had more cousins in the village?
Oh, mate, that's just so standard. On the other side of the world and you see relatives. You know, it's crazy.
But the best, funniest experience I ever had. So I had this very eccentric uncle here, was married to my dad's sister.
Yeah.
And like, I remember back in school days, he'd come and pick up his grandkids, my cousins, and always would cause a scene with his car and all that. So you knew he was there. Like, he was loud, distinct voice. You knew that was, oh, you know, Phil George was up the road. You know, oh God, you know. You'd do everything to avoid him. You'd hear him from a mile away when he's coming over for a coffee, because he lived around the corner, and he'd start screaming from the second he walked out his door. Get the coffee ready. I'm like, Jesus, this is full on. Anyway, when I was in Greece for my first time, I was about 16 years old. I had gone to Greece. I was in Greece on my own. No one other than my family, my parents knew that I was in Greece, because I went on like it was like a school tour type thing, right? I got selected to go to Greece on a scholarship basis.
Yeah.
And I went to visit an auntie of mine while I was in Greece. That auntie then, my cousins took me to Athens, because they lived about an hour out of Athens. They took me to Athens. And as I'm sitting there, we're having a little drink in the platea, the square,
Placa, yeah.
right? We're having a square, and I hear this voice from behind me abusing one of the shop owners. I go, God, that sounds like my uncle, right? I'm like, I laughed, and because my cousin obviously knew who I was talking about. I go, oh, that sounds like, you know, Uncle George and rah, rah, rah. I turn around, it was my fucking uncle.
Oh my God.
It was my uncle. I looked at him, and he looked at me, and he goes, oh, you look like my nephew back in Australia. I go, that's because I am your nephew from back in Australia. He goes, what are you doing here? I go, what are you doing here?
Oh, fucking hell.
So no one knew that I was going to Greece other than my family.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, well, I've come to see such and such because they're not well and rah, rah. I'm like, holy shit.
No, that not quite like
All
that.
the way across the world, man.
So my, I knew, so my babu's sister was there, right? And I said to, so I was calling Dad in Australia, and I was saying, look, I really want to go see, because she's got the house that they grew up in, you know, my babu and the sisters and that. I go, I really want to see the village. I'm here, like, I'm in, like, everything, it wasn't that far away from where we were staying. I really would like to see it. Anyway, so, like, I don't have her number, like, I don't know where it is. I literally I'm just driving until I can find something, right? Anyway, I see Katavia, I'm like, oh, fuck, okay. So we went in, and no bullshit, I rock up there and I see this well, and I see, like, this old lady with, like, a mandili on, pumping water out of the well. I'm like, oh, fuck, I'm here. Like, I'm in a chorio, right? And, like, my Greek isn't the best, and I'm trying to explain, like, Katrina's Greek is killer. I'm just trying to explain to her, I go, look, my Greek isn't the best, you know, and she's full talking to me in English. I'm like, oh, well, I didn't expect that from, like, you know, she's got, like, the apron on, you know, the whole 9 yards thing. And she goes, oh, Marita, Papa, oh yeah, go up this street, blah, 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 this and that. I'm like, how the fuck does everyone know each other? So I go, and I see my auntie, but I didn't realise that my cousins were, like, some of my cousins were with her. And I was just like, from Adelaide. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing here?
No.
Right, and anyway, we're talking away and whatever. And she goes, oh, they go, oh, where are you going next? And I go, oh, I'm going to be in Santorini in a few days. And she's like, oh, we're going there too. I'm like, no shit. I go, well, call me when you get there. Anyway, so we get there, and me and Katrina are just cruising around on the quad. And as I'm driving with dropetes in my mouth as I was driving, like, this is killer, right? Right, I'm driving, whatever. And then as I'm pulling up to my hotel, I see my cousins again, like my uncle and, like, the kid. And I was just like, when did you guys get here? And she's like, oh, just now. I'm like, no shit, where are you staying? And it was like the hotel next to us. So it was just like, whatever, man. What the fuck? Yeah, it was crazy. It was crazy. So,
Good honeymoon then, huh?
Yeah, it was killer.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was good. Yeah, still manual. Thanks for the dinner down in Santorini. Thanks, mate. Yeah, appreciate it.
Irene says, oh, my papu's from Katavia. There you go.
Yes, I know, Irene, that your papu is from Qatar.
The Rodites are on.
Yeah, they are.
Well, there you go. Small world, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Now, I'm just going to check that I've talked about all the stuff that I wanted to talk about. Yes, I have. Oh. I don't know if you want to go to Blokes Bits.
Yeah, we'll go there.
Yeah. Good. All right. You got Blokes Bits to talk about?
Yeah.
Man, I keep forgetting how goddamn loud that is when I put it on the speakers.
That is very loud.
That literally just blew my ears off. All right.
So, Arsenal out of the Champions League.
Yeah.
Saw that one coming.
A couple of really bad games.
Yeah.
A very bad game. But, I mean, in a way, I'm sort of glad that pretty much most of the big teams in England are out of Europe.
Yeah, well, all the English teams are out of Europe.
Liverpool's out of their conference.
Europa,
And Man City lost as well.
to Madrid. Yeah, that was good. That was good to see.
Yeah, so
Whatever.
I'm upset about the Arsenal one, but then again, like, maybe we can now focus on the league.
Man, we've got a tough run in, man.
We do. Aston Villa completely annihilated us.
And you know what?
I didn't see that one coming. I did not see that one coming.
I was nervous for it because I'm like, Emery haunting Arsenal again.
But we slaughtered them last time.
Yeah, but at our home, we were there at Villa Park. It was at Villa Park. But then we've got Chelsea on Wednesday. We've still got Man U at Old Trafford and Tottenham at
Well, look, we had a good win on the weekend against Wolves.
Yeah.
That was a good one.
2-0.
And then, the only bad thing is that Liverpool won this morning.
Yeah.
And are back on top. City haven't played yet.
No. We're still top.
Yeah, I know, but they're equal with us on points.
You know, if Man City draw, we're all on, I think, 74 or 75 points.
Yeah, us and Liverpool are 75 at the moment.
Yeah, so if City draw, they're on 75.
Which I don't think they will do. When's City playing?
I don't even know. No, because they've got their game moved because they had the FA Cup and then they had the Champions League and then 3 days later or 2 days later they had the Champions League.
So Brighton versus Man City on Friday morning. Friday morning. But
is it at Etihad or?
We've got the Chelsea this Wednesday
Morning. I think 4:30.
4:30, yeah.
Is that at home or Stamford?
That's a home game.
Oh, we'll get that one.
Yeah.
That's all right.
That's a home game. Let's see what the run is. So we've got 24th, and then 4 days later we've got Tottenham away.
After Chelsea?
Yep, 28th.
Shit.
And then we've got Bournemouth at home, and then we've got United away.
Away. That's what I want.
And then we've got Everton at home.
Yeah, that's fine.
So we've got potentially 3 wins out of that lot. United and Hotspurs will probably be the tough ones.
But all three, so
having said that,
Liverpool and Man City both have Tottenham as well.
Yeah. I don't know.
Whatever.
It's a tough run.
Yeah.
It's a tough run. But it's anyone's game right now. It's not like you've got a clear winner.
No.
Had we won that Aston Villa game,
It'd still be top.
we would have been in a very comfortable position because City and Liverpool haven't had the best of luck the last few weeks.
No. But it's all right. And then Crows got done.
Yeah.
You see that?
Yeah.
Controversial call there.
Again.
Yeah, oh well. And then Port got absolutely Vaselined, mate.
I don't know what's going on with Hinkley.
So, funny thing, right? I'll give you a little story here. So Crows lost, right? And I'm pretty quiet. Even when Port wins, like I'm not on social media and blah blah blah. Anyway, but there's a little bit of internal banter with like Michael Bartle. He's a thick Crows head. He's got like essentially the same seats as me, but for the Crows.
Crows home games.
Right. So I don't know, I was working on Saturday, and then I stopped to get something from Coles. And as I'm walking into Coles, there's a charcoal pit at Findon Shopping Centre there. And I stuck my head in because I got the TV going and like Port like 31 points up, right? Anyway, so I call Michael Bartle and I go, "Hey man, how you going?" And he's like, "Yeah, I'm alright." I go, how's your weekend been, man? Like, are you alright? You know, Crows, couldn't get the job done. And he's like, "Come on, man, like, don't do this to me. Arsenal lost, then Crows lost. Like, it's been a very rough week, right?" I'm like, "Yeah, look, I get it, man. I get it, man. Look, I don't know how you feel with your AFL team because, we're 31 points up. I go, but, I'm just calling you to see how you're going, He's like, whatever, man. Like, just fucking leave me alone, whatever. I'm going to go cut my fucking lawns, blah, blah. Hangs up, right? I'm like, yeah, you fucking, got him, Get home, chuck the TV on. I'm like, oh, Collingwood scored. Oh, Collingwood scored again. And Dimitri's like, Dad, we're losing by 10 points now. And no shit, when he said that, I reckon probably 10 minutes later, like we're getting pumped, right? We're like 4 goals down, 5 goals down. Michael Buttle calls me up.
How's your weekend going?
He goes, hey Stamati, I'm just checking in on you. You all right, man? Like, I can see that you guys are getting fucking done here. Like, I just wanted to know, like, are you feeling okay? You going well? I'm like, fuck off, Simon. So it was,
too good.
yeah.
Too good. Oh, but the Blues won. Of course, Irene's going to say that. The Blues won.
Of course they did.
Yeah.
Bossy there. He's doing a good job there.
The biggest Carlton supporter I've ever met is her.
Oh, yeah.
By far. And the banter between her and her husband, because he's a massive Geelong head.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Yeah. It's full on. Hey, yeah, so, look, again, AFL, it's, I don't know, whether you're an Adelaide supporter or a Port Adelaide supporter, it doesn't really look that positive. Port's had, 2 losses in a row after starting the year so good.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Crows have had 1 win out of 5 and... Is it 1 and 5? Or?
No. So Port won last week against Freo, and then Crows got their win against Carlton, who hadn't lost a match.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And then we lost against Collingwood. Yeah, not good.
Oh, there you go. She's having a divorce next week.
Yeah.
Carlton are playing Geelong.
Geelong surely is going to get over there.
I won't go into the controversial topic because I know you're dreading to open that discussion. But
still haven't done with, will you?
No.
Do it.
No.
Do it.
You really want me to tell people that listen to our podcast that my team bet your team on the weekend at the under 8s and 9s Mini Roos World Cup?
Yeah.
Yeah. What happened, man?
Listen, man.
It's like your players forgot that they had to come to the other side of the halfway line to score a goal.
Listen here, mate.
No, I'm asking you a very fair question.
What happened? Okay. Let me tell you what happened.
I'm asking you.
Okay.
I'm asking you.
Let's
and don't give me this whole run around that, I didn't have my full team there and yada yada, bada bing, bada boom.
Oh, listen.
I didn't either.
Oh, you had 1 player missing, man. All right.
1 player?
Who'd you have?
I have more players than you. And how many did I have on my bench?
I don't know. How many did you have?
1.
Oh, okay.
How many did you have on your bench?
1.
Exactly.
Okay.
Okay. But had you not given away 2 players, you would have had 3 on the bench.
Yeah.
So you had more of a full team
Okay, listen.
than what I did.
Listen here. It was a 20-minute game, Valandi.
It doesn't matter.
It does matter.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It was a tournament.
Yeah, but it was a 20-minute game.
It was a tournament. And the tournament rules are you win the most games to become champions.
How many games did you win?
I won 2 games. How many did you win?
1.
1.
Yeah, 1. Yeah.
1.
Yeah. That's all right. But the aggregate, so I'm 2
We're not going by aggregate.
No, hold on.
Different
I've
format.
won 2 games.
That's like you saying, that's like now saying that I have a cricket team and you have a cricket team and you're better at test matches, but I'm better at... I'm better at 2020.
You can't even fucking put it like that.
And that you're going to say, on aggregate, we're a better team because we kick your ass in test matches. Mate, we've had two practice games against each other.
But full.
Right?
40 minutes.
Yeah, full 40-minute games. And again, I've never had a full team where you've had a full team on the field and on the bench.
Listen, we beat you.
And my players were very disorganised in the early parts of pre-season.
Yes, I'm pretty sure it's like 12 12 goals to like 3
Yeah, but
in 3 games.
my team bet you in a tournament.
Okay. All right. Do you want to tee up
My,
another game soon?
my
or-
team is currently the under-8 Mini Roos World Cup champions.
Okay. Should we tee up another game?
How many? Look, I don't want to brag, but how many did you score against the other under-8 team? Lost count?
I think it was in between 8 and 10 goals. Like I stopped.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. You?
I had 4 players that scored 3 goals each, and 2 of those players aren't even in my forward line.
Okay.
I had 2 players that scored
Oh, you want to start? You want to hear about talking about the past?
2 goals.
Look what Katrina just put in there.
Yeah, I'm not bringing that up.
Bring back the Crows of 97 and 98. Just, you know what? Just let's stop talking about last century, huh? Maybe if you want to talk about Crows history, let's start talking about 2017? When they got pumped by the Tigers? Let's talk about that. No? Okay.
Different generation.
Continue. Sorry.
That's like, 97, 98. We're talking, like, if you put that into an NBA perspective,
Chicago Bulls.
right, we can say Chicago Bulls was, bring back that team. But we never will.
2 3-peats.
Um,
Can't argue with that.
Yeah, so look, back to the Mini Roos. I think realistically it was a fantastic game. Very big improvements from my boys
Yeah, 100%.
against yours. I think much more structure than what we've previously had against you. And it sets up a very good combat for when we actually officially
Play
face
in
each
the
other.
season. Whoa.
But no, I won't be having any more practice games against you because
You're
I just
scared.
think, no,
You're
I'm not
scared.
scared.
You're
I'm not
scared.
scared. We're now in the same league.
You're scared.
So I think we can just leave it
Alright.
for the actual match day.
Fine, man. Just if you can say it. I'm scared. We'll leave it.
Not scared.
Not scared? A little bit worried?
Not worried at all.
It's sort of
Not
like
worried. So I don't know. I was
win and run.
I was giving you shit last night, and then I started getting messages from your counterpart.
from Drax.
Yeah, from Drax. So out of nowhere, I just get an emoji of a present and an eggplant.
Present and an
Yeah.
present.
All right. So I sent him this back. And his only response back to me was, fucker. That was good. That was
Drax
good.
is very, very competitive. Very competitive.
Yeah,
Like,
well,
bad.
I don't think he spoke to me after that game.
No. No, I don't think he did. Oh, it was just like good game. And I was like, fucking hell. But no, you know what? Overall,
I could see the fire burning on your side of the pitch.
oh yeah,
There
No,
was
it
a
wasn't.
lot of fuses going.
I was not happy. Not happy at all. Yeah, you know what?
But come on, man! Like
It is what it is. It is what it is.
there was some good moments where your team, did bring the ball up forward. It's just I don't know. Like I haven't seen them play like that in the 2 games that we have played. Your team was very very upfront attack. Whereas this game, I know it was a shorter game, but I just felt like there was no momentum going forward, and they were being stopped way too early in their movement, and the ball was being carried like I don't know. Anyway. That was just one game. And I'm not going to gloat about it because who knows what's going to happen next game.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Absolutely destroy you.
But I was happy with the win.
Yeah, it's all right.
I was happy with the win.
I'm happy for you. You know,
Don't even start with the little romance between those two. Oh,
who's that?
as in you and
Oh,
George.
Katrina.
You and George.
Because
Right.
I'm on the phone with him last night, and she's like, "Hi, George. I don't want to interrupt your little conversation. You guys."
Oh,
are
so
having-"
were you on the phone to him while I was texting you?
Yeah. so
Is that why? Because out of nowhere, like I'm sitting in bed, and all I get was, by the way, Drax said suck his dick. I'm like, what?
So I'm on the phone with him, right?
Yeah.
And then he started texting me, right? And I was just like,
Oh,
you're not gonna like this. You're not gonna like what he just said to me. You know. He's like, what did he say? What did he say? And I was like, nah, I'm not gonna. And I told him, and he's like, I'm gonna fucking text him.
where are we? So the conversation pretty much started with, all right, these are the topics we're going to talk about on the podcast tomorrow, right? And then I had to just chuck it in there going, look, we can even discuss the Mini-Roos World Cup outcome if you want.
This is what you texted me.
Yeah, or is it too sensitive?
Yeah.
And then you wrote back, yeah, we can talk about how you got lucky. When would you like to have another full game?
Yeah.
And then that's where it all started. And we were sending GIFs back and forth to each other.
Yeah.
And then I sent you the one of the guy waiting. And I'm like, yeah, that was my peak.
That, I was pissing myself. I was like, oh, man. And Katrina's like, you all right? And I'm on the phone with George when you sent that. And I was like, oh, man, you should see when he just fucking... I texted it to him. And he's like, tell that fucking arsehole. So it was good.
Well, that's when you go, oh, plus Drax said, suck my dick. And I wrote, nah, I'll leave that to you. After all, he's your head coach, right? Lap it up, brother. Lap it up.
Yeah, he was like, oh, he goes, oh, he had to say that? He had to say that? I'm like, yeah, he's on it. I go,
And that's where he texted me after that. So
No, I love it.
it was good.
It's good.
It's
But
good banter.
Look, overall, that day was and like at the end, I thank George Agalides because he put it all together and I said, look for the under 8s. All right, look, none of us got the result against the under 9s, rightly so, but that's something for you boys to aspire to be next year. Look at how you guys went about it today, and look how they did, and that's what you've got to look forward to for next year, and try to emulate that.
I think my boys definitely did quite well against the under 9s that we played. Very good game.
Yeah.
Very good game. Compared to the game we played against them a few weeks ago in pre-season, very good. I mean, we're talking about 8 and 9-year-old kids, man. Some of my kids aren't even 8 yet.
Yeah.
Right? But it was a great day out.
Yeah, it was good.
I reckon we're going to leave it there.
Yep.
Let's talk about next week.
Yes.
The next episode.
All right. So next episode, I've got a guest coming on for our podcast. Her name is Carice Baraskeva, and she is Michael Butter, but she is also an OT in the mental health sector. That's part of her role, mental health. And she has a broad knowledge of that whole sector as well. So she's excited to come on, and she's a very, very intelligent person. So don't tell her I said that, because her head will fucking explode. But it will be a very, very interesting episode next week. Awesome.
That sounds really good, because it's definitely something that we touching in with an OT and someone who specialises in the field is something that we are really keen to get really dug into. Also, just thought I'd mention that I want to give a big shout out to all the lads who have been reaching out to us via social media or in person, seeing me out and about, seeing you out and about, and saying, hey, you know what, I'd really love to come onto your podcast. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. I had one that approached me the other day and said, I'd really love to come on your podcast. And I'm like, okay, cool. What exactly do you want to talk about? And he said, I want to talk about this. I'm not going to mention it because I want him to come on and talk about it. But, a very unfortunate time of his life. And he said, I listen to your podcast week in, week out, and I think that the best way for me to get this off my chest is by coming and talking to you guys. I'm like, wow, Excellent. That's what our podcast is all about. So full, authentic
Yep.
story.
Beautiful.
So that will be lined up, in the coming weeks.
Yep.
But yeah, and it's great to know that our podcast is getting out there. People are listening in, and we thank every single person for the support and the love that we're getting.
No, beautiful.
But a big shout out to our sponsors, Inspiration Paint Seaton.
Yep.
And to Andrew and the team at Excel Property Services.
Yep.
You can find us on socials. Give us a go.
Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. And you can also
email us. And you can now order T-shirts as well.
Yes.
Massive shout out to Tick Promotional Services,
Yep.
who have come on board with us and have given us a phenomenal deal to get T-shirts out to you guys.
Yep.
So send us,
space.
watch this space. Look, we'll say it out loud. $35 a T-shirt.
Yep.
All 100% proceeds of these T-shirts are going to go towards mental health services and different foundations based on mental health.
Yep.
So I really want to emphasize that. But send us an email or contact us on any social media.
Yep.
At Two Blokes in the Pod.
Cool.
Stamati,
Thanks, guys.
until next time. Michaela, until next time. Ciao, ciao.
Are you ready to sell your property quickly and hassle-free, or are you looking for a great property management service? Introducing Excel Property, your trusted real estate partner. With Excel Property, you can expect top-notch service, expert guidance, and maximum value in your home or investment. Sell smarter, sell faster with Excel Property. Excel Property, your key to a seamless selling and management experience. Visit excelproperty.com.au. Proud sponsor of the Two Blokes in a Pod podcast.
Are you ready to add a splash of colour to your life? Look no further than Inspiration Seaton, your one-stop shop for all your painting needs. Whether you're a seasoned pro or a DIY enthusiast, we've got everything you need to bring your vision to life. From vibrant hues to professional grade brushes and the biggest range of Dulux paints, we've got you covered. Visit us today at Inspiration Seaton and let your creativity shine. Your masterpiece awaits. Inspiration Seaton, where every stroke tells a story.